just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another Packer Up, boys. And we were just having a yarn before the recording started. Some good old-fashioned Facebook memories came up. And look, they're embarrassing 99.9% of the time. This one's still embarrassing, but it was actually some of the, not the very, very first bloke in the bar stuff, but the shape that it took when it was just me and you doing it.
Yeah.
And, mate, what's that? What was it?
2016.
16.
Yeah.
2000,
Early.
so what, 8 years ago, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy, to see that. And what's funny about it, we'll put a picture up of us sitting there, is I think we both thought, hey, because you used to get a new shirt from...
I used to stop at Kmart on the
So
way out to yours.
we thought to be professional, you had to wear a button-up shirt. And look, it sounds dumb, guys. It sounds dumb. But you got to understand, like, a lot of people always ask me, bro, like, when you start all this, like, who'd you get inspiration off? Or, like, who did you look at and go... You got to understand, there was no one. Like, there was no inspiration. The only inspiration was... You've got mainstream TV, and that's it. So that's why on mainstream TV, they wore button-up shirts. So I'm like, well, to be taken seriously, we got to wear button-up shirts too. So we'd have button-up shirts, but we just have shorts on. And you would stop at Kmart on the way down?
There was a $7. Once I realised, because I needed one desperately the first time.
Yeah.
And then because that was a theme, and I didn't have collared shirts
Neither.
really. So I was like, I've got to get a new one every time. Figured out there was a $7 hit on the way. I think it was on the carrying bar or something. Bang, I'd go and get a new collared shirt for every show. But people need to realise when they see that screenshot, like, you see that, but then you walk into your lounge room and boom, all of a sudden there's this mad state. How did you even build that?
Just myself. Like, so it wasn't even, so it's just,
It looked pretty good though.
It looked good. It looked good. So we're talking, it's just a small unit that I'm living in.
Literally. Like that consumed the back wall of your lounge room.
The whole lounge room was taken up by that. So in that stage of my life, literally was living without a lounge room. There wasn't a couch. There wasn't a TV, because the TV, I hung it on a steel pole, and then I drilled holes in between. So there's this cube, those cube shelves.
Yeah.
That you can everyone has them. Cube shelves, you can stack them on top of each other. So I was like, okay, so how, I can't, at the time, for some reason, I was like, I can't wall mount it because... Like, that's a spot in the lounge room where we wouldn't normally watch TV. So I'm not going to wall mount a friggin' TV. Couldn't afford it either. Everything was on credit cards. So I drilled holes in the side of the cube shelves, stacked them on top of each other. Then I got a metal pole, and I got some... so I got a TV wall mount, and I got some, like... I knew what they... So at work, we were working out in Marulan.
Yeah.
And so we were hanging up these... Not hanging up, but basically we were... I think they're called U-bolts. So these lights... Industrial lights that were on these walkways, like these steel walkways. And so we were like clamping them to the steel rail. So you'd put them over, you'd put the clamps on them, you put the nuts and bolts or whatever on them. I honestly can't remember anymore. And you tighten it until it was attached to the steel thing. So I took some of them from work, attached them to the back of the TV, and put them around the pole that's usually made. The pole was usually made to put the lights on, because we had to build the lights from scratch to put at the work site. And then I drilled holes in the cupboards and put the steel pole through that and just hung it there. So, like, the only thing, like, stopping it from falling, there was no stability. If that gets pushed even a little bit, it's the whole thing's coming down. And then what I did to make it look like cool, like a bar, I put, got lights from work again, some, like, LED lights that you can just plug into the thingo. And then I put, like, alcohol in each square thing.
You had beer taps as well?
Yeah, we had some fake beer taps made up. So the beer taps weren't connected to any kegs. It was literally just beer taps sitting there.
It looked legit.
So you look like looking at a bar, but it was in my lounge room. And yeah, that's how, that wasn't actually, so that's when before that you were in Thailand.
Yeah,
Thailand.
Yeah.
And so you were just going into random bars at that stage.
Yeah.
And so was Eric Gross we had and Gerard Yee. They'd go into each bar and then they'd send me the footage. I'd edit it all up and put it up. But then eventually you came back to Australia and that's when we're like, and Eric and Gerard, I think they started doing their own stuff. And so I was like, you know what, I'll jump on with you. Mate, we were doing like live
that's what I was going to say.
stuff.
Right, that was mad. It was live. Like if we'd be talking about a topic and you'd have people commenting at the same time and you'd be going through. It was mad.
And there was like thousands of comments too. And like those numbers back then, that's crazy. That's craziness.
I remember watching it.
Really?
I dead set remember watching those live things. Yeah, 100%.
No
I can
way.
vision it. I know I'll get the photo later, but I haven't seen it yet. But I can actually remember it.
You
for
take
sure.
it for granted too, because as you said, like podcasts are mainstream now. Every cat and their dog's got a podcast because it's such a great platform. But back then it was before the time.
Mate, there was no one that was doing it. So it's like...
What was your inspiration?
My inspiration
America.
was who was it first? I think it was Sam Harris or Joe Rogan. It wasn't necessarily like, it was more just understanding that technology existed, understanding that I can just put something up and people can just listen to it. That was more like, oh wow. And then went down the route like, man, I'd really love to tell the boys stories. Like I feel like league players are misunderstood, and then it all kind of slowly come together. But yeah, the bloke in a bar in the lounge room. Holy, I mean, it was only what 4 years ago where it was upgraded to my second bedroom in a new unit that I was staying at, and I got wallpaper.
Yep.
That looks like wood.
Yeah.
But it's not wood. It's actually just wallpaper you put on the wall. So we've only been here 3 years?
3 years. 3 years in, I think it was February.
So it's like people.
So 3 and a bit.
haven't been around for that long. Like even
Actually, when you put it like that, it feels like way longer. Like 2016 feels like, bro.
for a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
A lifetime ago. And then obviously you made your comeback with the Storm, so you didn't have as much time to do it. And you moved down to Melbourne with all that.
But it must be cool, like, for you to sit back because, unfortunately, we're so often thinking about what's next and what we haven't done and what we want to achieve. Like, to sit back and think like, fuck, that's cool.
Oh, man.
And,
it's bizarre.
not to embarrass you or speak out of turn, but knowing that, I knew your intention was, and to think about what you said back then. I talk to people about this all the time. Like, the line that you said, and I don't know if you remember this, but you had the opinion that based on the fact that you could have this organic reach through videos, you in turn wanted to create your own marketing company. So you were your own advertising platform to create a bigger product. I think that conversation, that chat is fucking gangster.
That was
You know
so
what I
long
mean?
ago,
Do you remember? Like that's what you said to me,
well,
and I'm like, that's fucking genius.
Well, yeah, the plan is that build your own platform to be able to have your own products, to be able to sell on that. So you take away the marketing spend you would usually have to do otherwise. And also, I just, sponsorship, it's great now because it's a mainstream, not even mainstream yet, but it's getting mainstream podcasting. But it can be fickle, Sometimes companies want to come aboard, sometimes they don't. Whereas if you can build your own product and your market spend, initially at least, is $0. Now, eventually, to get out to a wider audience, you're probably going to do a bit of a spend. But yeah, like, it was just... I was just trying to think logically, like, there's a technology that can provide that. It's free. Everyone has the internet. Logically, it should eventually work. I don't know whether it's going to be in 10 years or 50 years, but in my head, I was just like, eventually, it has to work. Like, there's no friction between it working and not working other than people just picking up the technology of, like, enjoying podcasts. Because, like, podcasting is really just radio on demand.
Yeah.
Like, podcasting isn't a new form of media, it's a new technology. Whereas like people talking, like, and radio is just storytelling, and that's the oldest form of entertainment, millions of years or hundreds of thousands of years old. So yeah, seeing those things is just like, also even seeing us talk, so less confident, and so like, I guess it's almost like the young boy that's around men trying to put on a man voice. That's what I see when I see, even though I was like 28 or something like that, but I'm so not confident that I'm like talking in a different kind of way.
Trying to figure it out too.
Yeah, far out. It's mental, bro. Craziness. Mate, how's it all going? How's out west going for you?
Yeah, very good, mate.
You joined any hip-hop groups or anything like that?
I was wondering where that was going. You joined any hip-hop groups? No, I haven't. What have I been doing, man? I mean, the highlight for me where I'm living at the moment is like you're at the town centre. Like that's the peak.
Yeah,
not really. There's not a heap going on.
Okay.
So I've taken away the beaches. There's not a lot of time for activities.
So once you get home, unless you want to go to a gym, you're pretty much just in the house.
Yeah, I'm sleeping or training.
Oh, okay.
But I was in Adelaide the week before. That was nice.
I'll tell you something about Australia. When you travel, when I went to Europe, I couldn't believe we don't appreciate how active we are in Australia. Like you go to Europe, I was in Florence, I Googled like gym, Literally not a single gym.
Yeah.
Like, like there was one gym that came up. It said it was closed, and we're talking like this gym was from the 1960s.
I know what you mean. Yeah, Europe, parts of South America is the same. You type in gym, and you end up at this like gym where the machines are like 50 years old, but there's no like chains of gyms. Whereas Australia, we got
You could walk
so
10
many.
meters, like 50 meters, you're at a gym.
Yeah.
Like it's just even like in Europe, no one wears activewear. Well, like some people do, but like barely ever. I got back to. I'll tell you what, it's like a culture shock getting back. So after 8 weeks being in Europe, I got back and like some of the, I guess, more revealing activewear, I was like, oh shit, like, like, whoa, I've got to get used to that again. Like, but as an Aussie, when you're here, it's just like, yeah, of course, everyone runs around in activewear, and whereas over there, like, you're not, just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's weird, but then they're healthier, and generally across the population, they are in pretty good nick.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
You know, it's like we need to go to the gym to escape the shit habits and the shit lifestyle choices. Whereas their lifestyle kind of makes up for us always need to go to the gym. I don't know.
Yeah, it is, because you're right. Like, it's not like America where, you know, there's a lot of obesity or whatever. Obviously, there are some obesity, but I wonder whether that's just culturally they're a more active culture in regards to
even the way they eat. They
go
these
out
things.
a lot. They socialize a lot. Then they go and play team sports a lot rather than go to the actual gym or run maybe. But yeah, it was a massive culture shock. What about you, Matty? How you been, mate?
Yeah, good. I went out to Accor last night. I was one of about 3 people there. There was no one in that big stadium.
At what point do we just go, look, I get it, government funds, blah, 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 blah. But at what point do we just go?
It's a shocking stadium.
Get
It wasn't built for rugby league. It was built for the Olympics, obviously. It's called Sydney Olympic Park. So I'm in row 12 in the Platinum area, like the best seats you can get, because I go there often enough that I justify it, and I still can't get a good look at it. Like, it's just not good.
What do you see the solution? Like, you got to think about who are the teams that are home there. Basically, what, Bulldogs South?
Bulldogs South.
South moved to
Allianz?
here, and Bulldogs just put some cash in and build a Belmore, Belmore Stadium.
No, go to
Combank?
Combank.
Oh, yeah.
Not that far away.
It's not too far. Ideally, they'd build, like, I know we can't just build stadiums, but you'd build a stadium around there so that maybe the Dragons can play out of it, the Doggies, even the Sharks sometimes. And then you have those 3, everyone sharing those 3.
Cogra and,
But yeah, just the core stadium.
But that Accor Stadium's a joke.
Getting out there, like,
So
it's a good
bad,
stadium in regards to, like, for other things, but for rugby league.
Yeah.
And just the getting all the way out there.
What I've done now anyway is I've bought a car spot for the whole year. So we just drive out.
Just drive out.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It's just those stadiums, like, we just can't be playing. Even speaking of Adelaide, I remember when we played at Adelaide Oval, like, you just can't be that far away from the crowd. It doesn't work.
It's a very weird feeling. Every time when I played at ANZ Stadium, when it was called that, it's just a weird feeling. It just feels very strange. I mean, even Ivan Cleary and I think Isaiah Yeo commented on.
Yeah,
like,
Yo said they said 8,000, but there was probably 4,000 there.
Yeah, which is like,
Can't happen.
we've had such good crowds this year, but the common denominator seems to be Accor Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, it is just
It's weird. Like, I find a lot of people want to keep the suburban grounds, which is great. I agree with that too. But, like, either go all in on the suburban grounds or go all in on the big stadiums. We're kind of in this weird halfway.
Money, it's underrated, the amount of money. Like, you can't just, people are arguing about Leica and that. Do you know how much cash it is to just build a stadium? Like,
Yeah.
bro.
I just think that just go to stadiums that, like, I like the smaller stadiums, like the 25,000 or for example, on the Gold Coast. That's a great little stadium.
That's a great stadium.
Combank
Yeah.
Stadium.
We're a
Allianz, I
TV
know they're a
sport.
little bit bigger than that.
We're a
Hey?
TV sport.
Yeah, we're a TV sport, 100%. So go to the smaller stadiums, make sure they're packed out.
Yep.
And work from there rather than going, oh, let's get a 50, 60, 70,000. I just don't get it. Like, we're a TV sport. Make it so it's packed all the time so it looks better for TV. You still get the diehards that'll be able to go and watch the game. But yeah, out of the Accor Stadium, it's just a tough watch even. Before we get into it, don't forget Bloke jerseys, Monday, 6 p.m. Bloke hats and also Bloke slides. That's right. We have our very own slides, literally made from scratch. Very own Bloke slides. And I'm telling you, these are like walking on air, guys. They're absolutely outstanding. So Bloke slides will also be available. That is 6 p.m. Monday. The Bloke jersey reveal will be Sunday around 6:15. So make sure to be there for that.
Lovely.
But Monday, 6 p.m., set your alarms for 5:55 p.m. and just be at the site, because you guys know this is our biggest drop and it's limited numbers as well. We haven't increased the amount of jerseys we're going to put on there. It's limited numbers. So if you want to get a jersey, we won't be doing this design again. Be there at 6 p.m. I'm very, very confident this may go down as the best jersey so far. Oh, well, there are a lot of people that are going to... I'll let you decide. I'll put it that way. I'll let you decide. But it's up there with the OG Brown one in my opinion.
The OG Brown was lovely.
Oh, wow, that was good. But this one, there's something different about it that makes it like special. It's special, baby.
You don't have one of these in Magic Round, you're kidding yourself.
Oh, yeah, if you don't have one. Yeah, are you a real bloke community member if you're not rolling in Magic Round? Also, we will be having a meet and greet the Caxton Hotel Saturday from 1 till 2 p.m. out in the car park. Come say hi. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're actually going to get some unique stuff made to give you as well to maybe take in the stadium and enjoy. So make sure to be there between 1 and 2, but we'll speak more about it on Monday. But the meetup for the meetup for Magic Round is probably my favourite part of the year. Meeting everyone. It's the only meetup we really do, to be honest.
Yeah, it's my favourite weekend of the year, I think.
Freaking
the
massive. Best. So we will be there 1 till 2. Also, do not forget, give us a follow on Sportsbet feed. Look, the Nepo baby, once again, saw recently, Sportsbet have put another ad. He's done another ad with Sportsbet on their feed. And so the limp-wristed Nepo baby.
The limp-wristed.
Dictator Dan is just they are really committed to trying to get him on top of the feed. We cannot allow this, guys. Let the people have the power. If you've read a book before, you know the people have the power.
Read a book.
Doesn't matter, these huge organisations, they want to back people, limp-wristed people. Like, I don't know what the deal is with backing limp-wristed people, but it is what it is. But give us a follow-on feed. We've also got a bloke in a bar multi as well. Ooh. And this week...
filthy the other week when I seen that one come through.
Oh, that was
filthy.
That was bad.
You're kidding.
I was filthy. Matty threw me off. That one he constructed that the other week and sort of put me off. But when I seen that come through, I was like...
The one that I constructed. Come on.
Okay.
That was good.
Okay, this week we're doing... basically, the vibe is... apologies, in the wrong message. The vibe is big announcements or 200th game. So we're going Munster Keary. Keary, obviously, he's announced his retirement. Munster, it's his 200th game. So we're going anytime. So 2 5/8s and you're getting $20.
Oh, I like it.
Anytime, 2 5/8s in milestone-ish games and you're getting $20 for that. So I'll obviously have it on my feed. So you follow me, you go to more feed, you type in Dan and follow me, and you can just copy my bet. Matter of fact, I'm going to go right now. So you boys just keep talking, and I'll go right now, and I'm going to
actually
put it
like
on.
that.
I like, especially the Munster one. Like Munster against the Titans on his 200.
Kiri I'm seeing Kiri score off a little grubber.
I can see it at Suncorp tonight. Yeah, that's going to be a cracker tonight's game.
There we go. The Bloke in a Bar multi. It's up. It's available. You go to as I said, you go to my feed, and you can literally just copy the bet straight away. I mean, tell you what. Cam Munster and Keary to score a try in round 9 and get $20 for that.
I like it.
That's juicy. That's juicy. It's as juicy as it gets. Boys, did you watch the game last night?
Well, yeah. Well, I hope so.
How did you feel about the game?
Oh, I mean, disappointing. It was one of those games where it's the classic cliche, South's going to come out after a coach sacking. Yeah. It's always a bit of energy, bit of effort. And you thought that early on. I was like, here we go, the hoodoo. And then it just absolutely crumbled, and it was kind of the Souths of old. But it's honestly, it's a little bit tragic to watch. I think some of the things I want to discuss with you boys in the game today is just like the effort areas. It's reached rock bottom, you know. And I know they got some unlucky things like with injuries and stuff like that, and they still... It's a tough situation, but man, when you just look at where the position they were in, and then they had Panthers a man down, and then just slowly just crumbled. It was like there's nowhere to go from here. Honestly,
it's like if put it this way, if there's 2 real bad effort areas where I felt was like quite poor, and if they make the tackles, those 2 tackles in those 2 bad effort areas, obviously the tap where they should have just been on your bike at the very least. Like as soon as you see.
Edwards?
Yep. Dylan Edwards. As soon as you see him on his bike, you got to start running as an outside back just to get there. That
was a bad one, wasn't it? I mean, unlucky kick, but to come through and then just no one turn around, that's like, oh.
Look, I understand the forwards that were kick chasing.
pushing up.
because very hard for them to just go bang off the foot and then sprint back to 20. But if you're an outside back on each edge and you can identify, he's starting to sprint to the 20, at the very least, get on your bike. Look, if the try happens, it happens. But guess who did identify that Dylan Edwards was on his bike? Taylor May. You know what I'm saying? Like, he identified it. And so I just think, just looking at that and just watching the fact that I didn't even see anyone really react.
No, I mean, Jai Arrow kind of half reacted and chased.
Well, he got there. So the kick went through, and with his experience, seeing, it's about to go dead, he pulled back and went back on the 20. So he was kind of there, and he actually forced Edwards to pass. But the thing is like, even when Edwards began to sprint, I didn't really see Rabbitohs players, a lot of them, react. Like, I didn't see them pick the pace up and go, oh shit, like he started to sprint. And I get it, they were fatigued as anything, plenty of injuries, but there was another one as well. So you go back and watch it, and I said this earlier on the Morning Glory with Matty Johns, you go back and watch it, the try that Taruva offloads back inside. You know who made the tackle on Taruva? Jai Arrow. You know where he was in the defensive line? At a marker in the middle of the field playing front row.
Wow.
So Jai Arrow, the Origin player, the most decorated probably forward at the moment in the squad, maybe outside of Cam Murray, he could easily, as a senior player, go, look, I've done everything in the game, essentially, like, I'm not going to go. He's going directly to the corner to try and help his outside backs make that tackle. So much so, he absolutely destroys his shoulder. He's on the ground writhing in pain. You go back and watch it, there's a few blokes around him that as soon as the ball go past him, they just stop. And I just think, like, look, I understand that things haven't gone well for Rabbitohs, and I tell you what, you could probably go and find plenty of images of me doing that when I was playing. So I'm not sitting here going, I was perfect. I'd be saying the same thing about me if I saw myself walking like that, which I probably did. And so I look at that and I go, boys, your season on the line, your coach just got sacked. Like, what more motivators do you need on your try line when you're defending on your try line? What more motivators do you need just to continue to scramble? And you may not have even stopped the try, but just keep your feet moving. That to me is very surprising, especially on your try line. I'd get it maybe somewhere else in the field where it's like you can't expect them to be sprinting back and forth when they're defending in the middle of the field or something like that. But on your own try line, like, put it this way, if it was a grand final, would you have been sprinting over in that corner on the try line? I think you would have been.
And that's got to be the mentality. And I understand it's compounding, like the situation that they're in, motivation, energy would be at an all-time low. But, yeah, I think from a mindset perspective, it's like play one, first set, offload, drop ball. It's like you're playing the Panthers, lads. Like, what's the mentality? Hold the ball. It's got to be go back to those effort areas. And then, you mentioned a great one. The other one was that forward pass, but a bounce pass, and Taruva steps back in, and all of a sudden there's no one covering. And the other try where they scored off the kick, there's 10 Panthers jerseys in the frame.
The dummy.
There's just no one there. So it's like these effort areas. I mean, the conversation's got to be like, hey boys, we ain't going to win the comp this year. We're not chasing highlight plays, but can we at least just hang our hat on some pride and some good efforts, and then let's go from there.
What sucks is like, I actually think they played better than they've played most of the year.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, actually, that's what sucks is like they have these moments where
certainly in that first portion, the left side looked good. Cody Walker looked like he's getting shaved.
Mate, it was with 20 minutes to go. It was
18-12 with 20 to go.
Yeah, 20 to go.
And the first try wasn't a try. So
yeah, 100%.
And so I just go, I can understand from the Rabbitohs perspective. They go, mate, look how much good stuff we did. But it's like, but you let yourself down with these moments in the game, and they know better than anyone. Like they're put it this way. What do you reckon? Okay, let's say Storm win a game, but he witnesses those two tries against the Storm. Let's say they won the game 40-12, but he witnesses the gyro one we talked about, and obviously the tap again. What do you reckon he's doing?
Blown up.
He's losing his mind.
That's the standard.
That's the standard. And as I said, like, there's all those players are better players than me, played longer than me, everything like that. But that doesn't change. It doesn't make it right. Just because, like, even if you could go, oh well, here's some other teams that I can watch that are being lazy or moments, or whatever. But it doesn't make it right. Like, no one expects anyone to be perfect. And if this was just a one-off game at the Rabbitohs, you'd go, look, just one-off game, super tired, heaps of injuries. The problem is this has been, 23 or 4 games now? Like, as I said, if this was a one-off game, or even not even a one-off game, let's say they've been like the Bulldogs the last couple of years, where you go, you know what, you can't really deny their effort. They rip and tear, they're just not up to the standard. Unfortunately, this year at the Rabbitohs, has there been really watching as a fan, has there been really a game where you said, you know what, all 17 blokes for 80 minutes ripped in?
No, not really.
I think they're lacking leadership a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a perfect storm. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I agree. It really is, and it's a very unfortunate situation. Even like in those moments where, Panthers are down the sin bin or you lose a guy. Storm, we used to have a call. We actually got it off the Crusaders. It was Ajax, clean.
Yep.
Just clean. So it's like you literally just held the ball, kicked the ball, did fuck all until you got back into it, whether it was a player coming back. They just need, I don't know, just someone to stand up and just go, hey, we need to take fucking control here.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's tough because you got the captain, Cam Murray, who works his heart out every game. So he can't work any harder.
Yeah.
He's almost working too hard. You got Jai Arrow. He can make silly mistakes, obviously, like that rake. But at the very, at least he's ripping.
He rips in, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'd hate to see what we'd be like if them two didn't play last night.
Well, back to our point the other week, boys, we talk about leadership. Yeah, you got two great forwards that are leaders, but where do we really need leadership, Spine? Like they're going to control the game.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at teams or games and think, like, what's their strategy here? I look at South and I just go, I don't understand. What's the strategy? What's the game plan?
Yeah.
So you got Damien Cook. We know what type of player he is. You got Cody Walker, and he showed when he's on and got shape. But I just look at South, I'm like, I just can't pick, wonder what they're saying, what their game plan is, what their strategy is. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that, because Ilias was dropped, 4 games in?
Yeah, it was the Roosters game, so I think it was only 2 games in.
2 games in.
Yeah.
Get a new 7 in. That's, he's a New South Wales Cup 7. And so maybe that's a huge reason why they just had no direction. But, I don't know. It's just...
Like you said, bro, perfect storm.
It's a perfect storm. Everything's gone wrong.
Yeah, nothing more.
The
could
confidence
go
is
worse.
now through the ground. Key players are not having good seasons, or they're having little, patches of good seasons. And then you look at the forward pack, decimated by injury, but at the same time, the forward pack has been really underwhelming.
Leadership in the spine, as he said, we're going to be forced next week to put Whiten at 6 because Hawkins is injured.
Gray's gone too, but Trell's back.
Jai Gray's gone, so Trell's back. So maybe Whiten in the halves.
Decimated by injury.
Oh, decimated
by injury.
And Whiten in the halves and just kicking strong. I don't mind it.
Look, people go, see guys, it wasn't the coach. But it's like, but the coach has created this environment.
The damage is done.
Yeah, it's one game with the coach not there.
Can't say that.
The coach has created this environment that currently exists. And yes, the players have a responsibility for sure. But it's the coach that, if the coach, put it this way, let's say he's got players that are not doing what he says. And there's been reports basically saying that JD was a very player-led kind of coach.
Well, Blake Solly said that.
Yeah. And so, but, Blake Solly, maybe that's half truth, not true. I don't know, because everyone's got their own incentives and to look good or whatever. But it's like, even if you sit there and go, you know what, the players have to be responsible, they absolutely do. I agree with you. But also, the coach has the power to say, if you don't do what I say, you're dropped. And so at the end of the day, the buck stops with the coach when it comes to the environment. Whether the players are buying in or not buying in, if a player's not buying in, he needs to be dropped. He needs to be punished. And so, obviously, JD's paid with his job, but this idea that, okay, let's say you've got a playing group. Let's say your opinion is it's completely the playing group's fault. The playing group doesn't have the power to sack, drop, move anyone. The only person that has the power to make those decisions is the coach. So at the end of the day, if the environment is bad, it's because the coach has allowed it to be bad, or the coach's philosophy is not the right one for this playing group. And so, people that just go, oh yeah, they got beaten even without JD. It's like, it's going to take months to transform this system, months to reinstate.
Don't happen this year.
They don't happen in a few games to reinstate standards. Because once a coach goes down a certain route of okay, he's going to allow certain players to do certain things, or not even certain players, he's going to allow all the players to not meet certain standards. He can't just come in one day and go, boys, you're getting in trouble for not meeting those standards. It's like, well, hang on a sec, you just spent 6 months saying that this, that. So it's going to take months for a new guy to come in and say, these are the standards. If you don't like it, let us know. We'll go up.
And it's going to need to be the right, Wayne Bennett's getting thrown around. That's someone who has an aura. And unfortunately, only from the information I've consumed externally, but if JD did lose the playing group and just didn't have the full buy-in, well, it's a downward slope.
I got to say, very strange that nearly as soon as it was announced that he was gone, his text message, the message he left up to the to the club, in the changing room was in the media.
Come on.
And like, look, I get it. If you're off a coach and he's just so hard to deal with and he's not good at his job, I get it being pissed. But how does that help the club or your teammates by leaking that? Like, that's just spiteful in my opinion.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's pure spite. And so, look, I don't know whether it was players or whether it was the management trying to make JD look like a bit of a victim. I don't know who it was, but whoever it was, it's pure
shit.
spite. It's shit. It's just shit. Like, you don't gain anything by that. Like, I don't understand.
There's leaks everywhere in the club. Like the Demetrio news was leaked before Blake Solly could even tell the players.
Mate, it was out before the players even knew about it.
Yeah.
They had to find out about it essentially on TV, the confirmation of it. So, as I said, I get it. The players have not been playing anywhere near as good as they should be playing. But this environment currently at the Rabbitohs, it's terrible. Like,
Can you imagine
are we
Melbourne?
kidding?
Can you imagine Melbourne having leaks like that?
Oh, it's like the forbidden thing. When that happens, you basically batten down the hatches. Everyone's in. It's like, wait, it's
The worst thing
crazy.
about leaks is it's the most telltale sign of factions within clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what it is someone
Really
going,
reflects culture.
I disagree with the direction of this club.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leak what I think is going to make the other side look bad because I want things my way.
And that's cancer, bro. You got
That's selfish thinking. You may disagree with a certain direction, but what's your role in that organisation? Do you make the right? Sorry, are you? So, for example, are you the CEO? Are you the director? No, you're not. You can disagree with it. You either get on board or you should leave the organisation. This cowardly leaking and stuff like that, it's selfish.
Can't
it is the
afford
most selfish thing you can do. You keep it in house. If you don't like the direction of the club and you're not in a position to change it, then you shouldn't be there. Like, and you can walk away. And if the club keeps spiraling, you can go.
Yeah.
And guess who did that? Guess who did that?
Sam Burgess.
He went, this is wrong. I disagree with
Yeah.
it. And he bounced.
Yeah.
And he left. Now,
Yeah.
you could argue things were leaked to the media or whatever. At the end of the day, what we do know for sure is he said his piece and he left the club. And so, look, the whole place, we can focus on the coach, we can focus on the players, but I think also the administration needs to be held accountable for the current state the club's in because they're the ones that make the decisions to hire people, to resign people, to let go of people, all that kind of stuff.
Have you ever had a regretful interaction with a coach that you can think of?
I'll tell you what, I got a funny one that was like really like awkward.
So do I.
So I was getting sprayed by Anthony Griffin.
Yeah.
Because like we're playing offside touch and someone made a break and I chased and I didn't catch him, but I was gassed. But if I was not gassed, I would
Who
have
the
catched.
fuck was it? Leon Bott?
No, like I was gassed, so I didn't catch him.
Okay.
And so he's blowing up me going, you're faster than him, like, rah, rah, like, you could have caught him, but I was just blowing. Like, that's all the problem was. I was just tired. Anyway, like, so he's just going off at me and I'm just sitting there looking at him. And he goes, don't look at me with those puppy dog eyes. No! What? And I was like, this is my face, bro. I was like, and I was sitting there.
Did
so I'm
everyone
like,
just laugh?
well, no, because it was a blow up. And so I'm sitting there going, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to change my face. Like, I just have big eyes. Like, I don't like my eyes. Yeah. I started looking at, sorry, bro. You're right. You got me. Sorry for having big eyes, man. I apologize. I should, yeah. So I'm getting sprayed. So the spray continues. And in my head, I'm like trying not to change because I'm like, oh, my face, this is just my face. Like, what do I do? This is how I look. And so that was like the most awkward spray that I got. It was very strange.
Oh, man. I was reflecting because I seen Fernsey up in the South box and then obviously Ivan's a Panthers coach. Fernsey was a cracker one because mid-season I was like, I just had my shoulder recos, I was injured, and he called me out of the blue and said, mate, do you want to come and play for Raiders? And I was stoked. Like, someone give me an opportunity, a lifeline. So that was a lifesaver. But on the other end, on that journey before the Raiders, in and out of first grade, I remember one day, and me and I don't care about saying that, and me and Ivan were having a conversation. And I was just like, fuck this. So you know when you're talking about someone, but you put their name in your phone? So I sent a message to my mate, but put his name as the receiver.
Oh, no.
Ivan Cleary.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I was just angry at the situation. I was like, fuck, blah, 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 blah. Sent it to him, and then I see his number come up. I'm like, no. He calls me, goes, mate, is everything all right? So I'm just saying all this stuff about him to my mate, and I sent it to him, and I was just like, oh, my heart. Just my stomach dropped.
Did he cop it? Like, did you speak about it?
Yeah, he kind of did. He's pretty cruisy bloke.
Yeah.
I just said, hey, look, I'll cop it. Like, sorry, mate.
Wrong of me to do that.
I was just heated, and
You're so young, too.
I didn't intend to
You'd
send
have
it
been
to
like
you.
19 or something.
Yeah, young, early 20s. I was like, yes, sorry, brother. But just that, that moment where you're like,
My God. Oh, my God. Yeah, bloody hell.
love you, Ivan. Congratulations, mate. You've had a great career.
You know what? Maybe that was
better
the
than mine.
moment. That was the catalyst that made Ivan become the coach he is today.
Maybe. Just a bit of resilience.
Holy, that's great stuff. Now, as I said, it's all bizarre because we've been quite negative on the Rabbitohs, but I honestly think they were for 60 minutes. For most of it, there were obviously little moments you could pick apart. I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty good. I really do. There's something that, put it this way, if I'm a coach, with how negative their season's been so far, I'd probably go in and just go, I'm not even going to talk about the bad shit. I just need these boys to be fucking happy and just enjoying footy again. And so
You got to remove the pressure and the expectations.
yeah, and I just go, boys, look at all the great stuff we did. 18, 12, 20 to go. Yep, a few moments here or there, but that's all right, boys. We're building again. It's been a tough season. Everything's happened. Let's go back out there and let's get to 70 minutes and let's get to 80 minutes. Because I just don't like. They would have been sprayed with an inch of their life. What do you reckon for the last 20 weeks in a row? At least 15 of those 20 weeks.
Morale is at an all-time low.
Morale's at a low. They've been told a million times they're not having a dig.
Yeah, that's not the answer.
It's not right now. Yeah. Maybe 6 weeks ago, you go in there and you just go fucking nuclear. Yep. But right now, you're just getting these boys just wanting to play rugby league. That's how I know it's a low bar compared to where they were, but this is the reality. That's where they are.
And you actually need to fabricate those winning moments, like you said. So it's like, okay, what do we do well? Great, let's double down. What can we work on? Well, let's try and get to this. And you know that they're achievable goals and targets. So it's like, all right, we're getting there. We're getting there.
And point out, look at this great effort. Look at this great effort. Yeah, like as I said, you can't. I've never been a coach, so fucking what do I know? But in my experience, like you've got to save your sprays. If you just roll in every week, just going, this, that,
you got to pick your moment.
Yeah, you've got to save your sprays, and you've got to understand, the current environment. And right now, at South, it must be just the most depressing place ever.
It's so tough.
Just watch the press conference and watch Cam Murray. It's
the poor bloke is just like he's worked his ass off for 80 minutes, and he's just like, man, this is the pits. This is the pits. So you're just trying to get the boys up. Onto the Panthers. It's weird. I actually thought they were pretty poor last night, but they won 42 to 12. I actually think that it was performances from Yo and Edwards that really got them out of a pickle. If Edwards and Yo had to come out and played like as flatly as everyone else did, I think they.
See, that's good to want.
Yeah. I'm well on the Edwards train, eh? Like I'm fully there.
Because like first set, he's begun to ball playing that, dropping blokes under, getting the ball at first receiver. Jeez, he's rounded out his game. He's been absolutely
just
incredible.
At an all-time high. Just
well, I personally think he's taken the step from a really good fullback to an elite top tier in the top three right now when it comes to form wise.
Yeah, I think it was like
he's a form fullback in the comp right now.
Really good fullback, and then what you're saying, like, I know I heard you have a discussion around Origin and things like that, and you'd love to see, but I just think it's time. I think he's ready. Like you said, he's just pushed again this year into an elite player because he's diversified his game.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just rounded it all out. He's rounded it all out, like the ball playing, the picking his moments, he's subtly become a leader as well. I think that's a key for this year that before he you looked at him and you said, okay, you're probably like fourth or fifth in the line for leadership at the club, and that's his role. That was his role back then. It was Cleary, Luai, Critter, Yo, Fisher, Harris, Leota. It's their show. So just step back where they want you in. Whereas this year he's gone, we've had a few injuries and, Fisher, Harris and Leota, they've been solid, but they haven't been as good as they have been in past years. He's just stepped forward and said, boys, we've got our key leader out in Cleary. Yo, if you need some help, I'm here. And Isaiah Yo and him have just led from the front all year long.
Well, Stephen Crichton said last week on the Matty John show that when he was there last year, Edwards would be the player that gives the most sprays out of anyone.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's just developed into a leader.
I feel like you can see it too. Pockets of conversations that I've heard when people talk about him. There's another level of respect for him now. And yes, his performances would have helped that, but clearly he has a lot of weight in the change room with the boys.
Well, he's the guy that's gone, for a few years, everyone's kind of gone, yep, good bloke in a good system that works really hard. He's become so good you can't ignore him anymore.
Yeah,
He's gone, you know what? Yeah, okay. Am I athletically on Tom Trbojevic level? Like, no. I'm not even close to that super specimen of Tom Trbojevic. But I tell you what, I'm going to work so hard on my game that you are going to be forced to acknowledge how good I am.
So
and that's what he's done.
consistent.
He's just worked so hard in his game. He works so hard in every match he plays that he has become undeniable. And although at the moment I would still have Tom Trbojevic there just because Origin is just like this beast, and we've seen Tommy have those big moments in Origin, each week he plays like this, it's getting to the point where he's becoming undeniable. Like Dylan Edwards you cannot deny this bloke, that Origin jersey, even if a guy like Tommy Turbo is ready to go. Now, still at the moment, I've got Tommy ahead, but if he keeps playing like this, like how could you not pick him in that one jersey?
I would love to see Tommy in the one jersey, but who would I rather see play an alternate position? That's my argument.
For sure,
Tommy.
yeah, like Tommy can play centre and kill it.
Whereas
he can win player of the series from centre.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not like crazy over seeing Edwards play a different position, but I just think he'd be so solid there.
And so, like, it's bizarre. Like, they won 42-12, and look, it's what Penrith do. Like, they go. Look, we do not care about the first 60 minutes in regards to points. We are never looking up at the scoreboard, going, "Oh, this is still a tight game." They're just going, "We have a system.
Yep.
Every single minute of the 80 minutes, we are sticking to that system, and we are so fit and strong that we believe you will break eventually." And they break teams nearly all the time. Nearly all the time they break teams. So it's just, even when they're flat, they've still got such a high standard of playing rugby league, they can put 42 points on an NRL side.
Yeah, and their flat isn't riddled with mistakes and penalties and bullshit.
Yeah, because I think this forward pack this year, at the start of the year, I thought they started quite well. I actually think the forward pack's been quite flat this year, like nowhere near as dominant. Now, look, I think that's actually by design. I think Ivan Cleary understands, like, look, as long as you're winning games at the start of the year, there's no reason to be peaking at the start of the year. I think Ivan Cleary has become such a master at peaking at the right time that this is all by design, that they look a little bit flat right now, and they're probably going to look a bit flat probably to like round, what do you reckon, 16, 15? Yeah. Not even flat, just not as...
Yeah.
And then when they hit round 16, 17, you just see them go like this. And it's just so, like we've seen, last few years. So a really good win for the Penny Panthers.
Just quickly, who's your back row for the Blues?
Ola Kawatu and Martin right now.
And Lock?
Lock would be Murray.
Yep.
Isaiah Yo off the bench.
Yep, that would be mine too.
Yeah.
Sandor?
And I'd be saying Isaiah Yo. Look, I just think that when Isaiah Yo ball plays too much, the speed of his play is too slow. When he just almost plays like a front rower, and so out of every 5 runs he has, 4 of them are like a front rower to a degree. Just like, not necessarily a front rower, but a forward that runs with ball in 2 hands, but he takes the line on. And then the 5th one is where he ball plays. That's where I think he's most effective. I just think Cam Murray, with the speed of Origin, he's a much faster player than Isaiah Yo. And so I just think that he's perfect for that 13 role, because he may not be as good ball player as Isaiah Yo, but that first 20 minutes when the speed is so quick, he's just perfect for that middle area.
We've discussed this before. I think it's proven that Murray has to play lock, especially in Origin. Like, if you look at the performances, I just think he has to. I don't think it's suited. And what you miss, not having Murray there with fast play the balls, it's not worth it.
Whereas what I like about Isaiah Yo coming off the bench through the middle is that the pace of the game would have slowed down a tiny bit, but also that kind of deceptive play of how he always runs with the ball in 2 hands, that will fool late tired defenders. So when you get to that 20 to 30 minute mark and people are starting to fatigue and you've got Isaiah Yo running you, not only could he fool defenses, but he's going to find his front most runs because he's just so deceptive with his ball in hand. You know he can ball play if he wants to. So, the speed of Cam Murray, I just think, is suited to at least the start of an Origin game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fight fire with fire, because the Origin forward pack's no fucking joke.
Yeah.
And they're going to come out all guns blazing. So I think we need to get through that initial period and then, come on and light it up a little bit. And guys like Yo can do that.
And Isaiah Yo, he fixes your utility problem as well. Could play 6 at a pinch. He can go out in the centres if you had to.
Do a job anyway.
Can play front row, can play edge back rower.
Yeah.
And so you can carry a specialist, a hooker on the bench then if you have Isaiah Yo. Now, can he play wing? Probably not. Can he play fullback? Probably not. But there's other guys in the team that can. Stephen Crichton, if he's in the side. Tommy Turbo, they can play fullback, they can play wing. So, like, Yo on the bench solves a lot of problems for you in regards to being able to shift certain places. So...
Hey, diverting a little bit on that bench chat, I seen a journo, I forget his name, he was talking on during the week around having an extended bench of 8 players and being able to select for. What do you think about that? I didn't mind it. Do you know the chat I'm talking about?
And being
so
able
basically
to
an extended bench, like you have 8 players on your bench, you can only play 4, but it cuts out if a team loses a player from injury, or it's like it does decimate a team. So you have 8 players, you only use 4, but the game's not lost because of an unfortunate situation. I like it.
No, I don't like it. Because that's the beauty of rugby league. And then you can have the
utilities and the other players
that.
carrying it back.
I fully get that. But the greatest moments in rugby league have happened when those injuries happen, because your back's against the wall, people are playing out of position, and they go out in the centres, or they play 6 or whatever it is, and those amazing moments happen.
Because I've got something else for you. If I'm just thinking, name another sport that has that issue that we do. You can't. AFL, massive bench. Rugby union.
But I think that's the beauty of our sport.
Bigger bench, yeah.
The beauty of our sport is if you make the wrong bench selection, then you're going to be in a bit of Barney. And also, you have those big moments too where a guy goes out, plays out of position and kills it. Remember Catewell in the centres in Origin? And like how incredible that was that he just went out there and killed it. Like, what an amazing moment. You don't get those moments if... And also, I think it would hurt depth of the game as well, because those guys on the bench, do they go and play? Do they not play on the weekend, in reserve grade? See, I like seeing coaches have to think on the fly when an injury goes down and their bench doesn't cover that injury. And I also like seeing intelligent selections on the bench that a lot of people disagree with, but then it comes through.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not married to the idea. Like, I'm not like, I'll be devastated if they did that. But yeah. Great win. Don't forget, guys, Monday 6 p.m. Bloke jerseys dropping. Also, give us a follow on Sportsbet feed. Takes 2 seconds, and it's the best way for Sportsbet to measure how good the partnership is. So you'd be supporting us a lot by just clicking follow. Also, Menulog. Brian To'o is our Menulog Hungriest Player of the Week. Use code Brian, BRIAN, for $7 off this week. The Titans were our Mosh Bounce Back of the Week. Join over 30,000 other guys in Mosh Hair Regrowth family and get $50 off your first treatment plan with code Bloke in a bar, all one word, at checkout. Bro, have you been watching? Do you watch much movies and that? You don't, do you?
Oh,
TVs
yeah.
and that?
Why? What do you got?
Shogun?
No, is this a TV series you've been talking about? Nah.
Baby Reindeer?
Nah.
Bro.
What's Baby Reindeer?
Mate, it's mental. It's this.
All right, I've got one recommendation. I'm going to watch what?
Shogun. Well, hang on a sec. You will actually, you will like Baby Reindeer more.
Okay.
Because it's fully scat, and it's like, so the dude that's actually acting in it.
Yes.
It's a true story about his life, allegedly, according to him. And it's about basically this chick stalks him, but it is like...
chick stalks him?
A chick stalks him, but it is like next level stuff. Not like, oh yeah, like she's kind of hanging around and stuff, like funny kind of shit. Like there's don't get me wrong, there's real serious stuff in there. Yeah. There's also like very funny stuff as well. Like it's like dark humor.
All right.
Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer.
That's her nickname for him. So it's...
Why?
Mate, watch it.
Is this a Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix. Seven episodes, I think. So it's not too long. 30-minute episodes too, so not too long.
Done.
Very, like, fully scat. Fully...
American?
No. Pommy.
Oh,
like... I think they're actually Scottish, but, you know, UK.
I miss going to the movies, bro. When's the last time you went to the movies? It's not a thing.
Dune Part 2. IMAX City. It was amazing. Holy shit.
It used to be... I feel like there used to be a movie every other week.
Yeah.
Now it's like...
Yeah, it's because it's streaming, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it
just
totally
sucks.
right.
Plus, we used to get free movies when you're playing footy. It was bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had the Crown Gold card. You just roll into the Any Village
what
Cinema.
club was that with?
Storm. So I lived right next door to...
That's how you get on
South
the
Bank.
cafe.
Right next to the Crown.
Free
And I
movies.
just roll in with the Village card. You go to +1. It was the
Are
best.
you going gold class or what?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
So you just roll in there literally every...
what are
as
you
soon as there's a
rocking?
movie
What are you
out.
eating gold class? I want to know. Well, run me down. What are you
Gold
going?
class. Well, you always have to... I have to start with a choc top. Boys and Mary choc top.
You're going chalk tops in the gold class.
Yeah, still.
You're not going the
Just a
Sundays.
classic.
You're not going the big Sundays,
I'm
mate.
not going like the banana splits. I'm just classic
you're in
choc
gold
top.
class. Enjoy your life, mate. Like I get you want to be fucking shredded within an inch of your life, but fucking enjoy a second.
And then
of
I'll go nachos.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I might even have a fucking Coke Zero and get real crazy.
Stop it. Settle down, bro.
Just get real
You'll be
wild.
obese soon. Holy heck.
What are you doing in there?
Mate, I'm going to fucking town. Mate, I'm trying to live my life. If I'm spending $1,000 to go to gold class, I'm fucking ripping it in. I'm going one of the pizzas that they've got.
Oh, yeah,
Great
that's
stuff.
good.
And you got the slides, the little burger slides.
Yeah.
And then I'm going one of those fucking massive Sundays, the Maltesers and caramel Sundays.
Hey.
And I'm just getting into my work.
That sounds good.
Mate, yeah, well, that's called living, baby. That's called living. Look, if you want to have shredded abs and look mad, that's great. Some of us want to look like shit, but enjoy our lives. The LDV T60 has 160 kilowatts of grunt, which makes it one of the most powerful utes in its class. Auto from 38990 drive away for ABN holders. 7-year / 200,000 kilometre warranty. Whichever occurs first at that price, why go second hand when you can have a brand new LDV? Mate, have you been into the Drake Kendrick battle lately or what?
Well, I've been getting around it a little
Get
bit.
around it.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
What's your take on it?
Mate, my take is, look, Drake's music, it's pop music in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's a decent rapper.
Yep.
He does have ghostwriters, but he also can write his own stuff.
Yep.
But he does pretend to be tough when he's absolutely
There's
not.
no
that.
way he's tough.
Like he's the biggest
That's like
cat.
private school stuff.
Bruh. Worse than private school, mate. He's a kid actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
He's a kid actor. What are we talking about here? Grew up in a really nice neighborhood. He's a kid actor. And so when he tries to talk tough on that, I'm just like, bruh, shut up.
Yeah, you ain't a
Like,
gangster.
and
'cause
I'm
you
not
rap.
saying you can be a rapper
And not be a gangster.
but not be a gangster.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be a gangster to be a rapper. He's really good when like he can still rap in that, but when he starts talking tough and that, so that's why I actually it's like this is what's so ironic. I listen. Well, I don't anymore because I just can't. I don't like him as a bloke. But there was a period where I could get more into Drake's music than I could get into Kendrick's music. Like just because it's pop, you put it on, you can go to the gym to whatever. For the last probably 4 years, I just can't. He's just too much of a Derek for me. And so this is coming from a bloke that I don't listen to Kendrick's body of work. Like his main
Body
songs,
of work.
like Money Trees and that. His like Swimming Pools, Money Trees, like his main songs I'll listen to.
Yeah.
But like his actual discography, like I won't listen to that album because it's just not that enjoyable to me, even though he's extremely talented. So there's not me sitting here being a biased Kendrick fan. But Kendrick absolutely, when you go listen to Euphoria, which is Kendrick's diss, go back and listen to Push Ups. It sounds like nursery rhymes. Like Push Ups is like sonically good to if you want to go to a club or
But
whatever.
that's not what this is about.
It's about
about
lyricism.
Rip the bloke.
Yeah, and so
Who's
it
the
is-
big dog in that battle? In terms of like, is Kendrick...
As in when you're talking about popularity,
Well, yeah, that's one
Drake
factor.
by a mile.
Drake, yeah.
By a mile. Like he is.
But Kendrick's got the street cred in the rap game or what?
Oh, 100%. Because he's actually from Compton. And so that's Kendrick's biggest issue with Drake. Is like, mate, you're
not a
talking,
gangster.
you're not from this life. Like you're trying to imitate something that you have no connection to. And so people get that confused with him saying, oh, so you say you can't rap in that. He's not saying you can't rap, but don't rap like you're a gangster from some hood. You're a child actor, bro. Like, what?
Child actor.
Bro, people forget. This is the thing with Drake.
What,
that-
Disney?
Like some Degrassi.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the thing that frustrates me with people with Drake. People forget 10 years ago he was known as like a soft R&B-ish singer, rapper. It's only been since he's continually pounded people with people around him to look like he's gangster that we now look at him like, oh yeah, like he's a full-on rapper. Like, bro, he was not accepted by the hip-hop culture for the first like 5-6 years of his career. And people go, oh, well, he was signed by Lil Wayne. Bro, Nicki Minaj is signed by Lil Wayne. Like, there's pop artists that are signed by Lil Wayne. Don't get me wrong, Nicki Minaj is actually from, she actually is hip hop. But what I'm saying is that just because he was signed by Lil Wayne doesn't mean that he's from the streets. Lil Wayne's a goat, but Lil Wayne's trying to make money.
Yeah, Lil Wayne's making cash.
He's making cash. He's trying to release good music. You can release good music without being from the streets, but just don't pretend you're from the streets.
What breaks me is this new era of Drake. You know how he does that like braids thing, and it's like this weird crown. It's like, bro, that ain't. You can't do that.
He just
That's-
copies people. Bro, go listen to his interviews. This is a good example. Go listen to his interviews when he first started, his voice. Then go through his career. He's had about 6 different accents. Now he tries to talk like Barry White or something. Bro, he's a nerdy little soft kid. Like when he was like early 20s and that.
He's a nepo.
I don't know if he's a nepo baby. But bro, he's a little geeky kid. Bro, your voice, when you're 23 years old, your voice doesn't change that much to where you're like, bro, he says tings in that now. Like, he literally he steals accents wherever he goes. So it's just like, there's no authenticity there. He's an incredible hit maker. Like, he's one of the best probably to ever do it in hit maker. He can make a hit 100%. But just the fake facade of like having different accents. How cringe would you be? Imagine I walked in tomorrow. I tell you what, imagine I walked in tomorrow dressed in country outfit and started talking like I was from the country and that. How much you'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? He's flipped that up like 6 times. Bizarre. Super weird. And he just gets away with it. You know why he gets away with it? Because he releases hits.
Yeah.
Because he's good at what he does.
Like the good thing, and to your point, Kendrick's basically, he went after him in Euphoria, but the main thing is that even though that Drake is probably commercially the GOAT of all them, he'll never be truly accepted by his peers.
And he's already said, that's the thing, Drake has already talked about not being accepted by his peers.
So who went at who first?
Well, so it's like Drake, he's the kind of guy that will he's a cry bully. And you know what a cry bully is?
Yes.
Yeah, so like he'll sub-diss everyone. Like constantly sub-diss everyone. And then he'll...
Is that strategic?
Like, because he's like, he is very like, how do I say it? He likes drama. Like, so he'll sub-diss everyone and then sook when someone has a go at it. Like, for example, he had a beef with Pusha T.
Yep.
And so they go back and forth through tracks. Drake brings up Pusha T's wife's name in the diss track. Ooh. So he says his wife's name. Make it rain on you like Virginia Williams or something like that. As soon as you say someone's wife's name, even if it's for a diss or not, if you say it in the track, that's the line gone. Like the line's over. So Pusha T just goes nuclear with him and lets everyone know that he hasn't let the world know that he has a son. And so it's one of the most decimating diss tracks ever. It's actually not even lyrically that deep. It's just the message and the reveal is so big. And so Drake then, I think, releases a statement saying that like, oh, you know, the beef's over. Then goes on a podcast like 6 months later or whatever and says Pusha T went too far. He's like, man, he went too far. And on a podcast, bro, you brought up his wife's name and now it's too far. Like, and so that's what I mean. Like, it's just, you pretend to be so tough. And then because he has a crack at you about not revealing your son and all that kind of stuff, oh, that's too far now. It's like, bro, if you didn't want to go too far, don't bring his missus' name up in a
100%.
diss track. Like, that's straight. If you're, okay, let's say we're hanging out in the street and we're having an argument and I just bring up your missus' name. What do you think happens after that? Do we keep talking or is there a fucking fight? Like, what?
There's a line. You know what the line is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, you can say anything about me and I would just be like, okay, cool. Like, we might go back and forth. As soon as you brought up my family, my wife, that is what is going to trigger anything. And anyone that has grown up in any environment that isn't like, would know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And what's crazy as well is Drake did it again in his first diss to Kendrick. He brought up his name. He said his wife's name. It's just like...
So is that what's dominating your algorithm at the moment?
No, what dominates my algorithm at the moment is just it's just baby stuff.
Oh, yeah. Are you a YouTube Shorts man?
I can get stuck in them.
Oh, I get stuck in it
Yeah,
lately.
I do get stuck in them.
And I'll tell you what my algorithm is, and this don't let it
But
go
you know
too
what? We
far
should do an
left.
algorithm check every single week
Yeah,
to
we
see
should.
where our heads are
Yeah.
at.
Absolutely.
I'm on the Diddy bandwagon
Oh,
at the moment. Now, you don't want to go too far left with that. But speaking of rappers,
weird headspace.
Mate, it's just endless. It's the algorithm's just taking over. I'm just like, wow.
Ironically, Puff Daddy, when he was known as Puff Daddy, I'm pretty sure, slapped Drake.
Did he?
Yeah. You have there's that.
Across the
there's that.
face, just to be clear.
Mate, the Diddy stuff. What the fuck, bro?
And it's just like first there was one comment from like, that epic Cat Williams podcast.
Yeah.
Did you see that? With Shannon Sharp and he just unloaded.
Yeah.
But then it was like, okay, now everyone's just come out and be like, yeah, I've been to a Diddy
You know
party.
what's so interesting about that Cat Williams podcast is like, like it's such a, when you look at it and you go, there's such a mixture of pure bullshit, but there's so much grains of truth in it as well that it's hard to decipher. Like, you can't look at that and go, everything he's saying is true. But also at the same time, there are also deep insights, obviously the Puff Daddy stuff, where you go, holy shit. And it almost like this, it's such a nuanced way. You gotta listen to that podcast going, like really sifting through, like what is actually true and not true. You're like, and that's the thing with conspiracy theories, like they exist, like fucking oath they exist. But it's just hard figuring out like what is batshit crazy stuff and like what is actually true.
It's just so hard to think. Like, the thing is, they show these clips of like old clips that now starting to make real sense with the narrative. And he's like speaking to these rappers, like, when are you going to come party with you, calling them daddy and stuff. It's just like, bro,
yeah, seeing those
mean?
clips.
Like, I don't know.
Did you watch the documentary Patrick CC's doco on it?
No.
Oh,
is there a doco on it?
Oh, it's like, I don't know, it's like 45 minutes long, going on over everything with the Puff Daddy. Because like there's a rumor that
Is that on YouTube?
it's on YouTube.
When you're at that level of wealth, it's like there's just other shit going on.
Oh, fuck, absolutely.
And it's just that their stimulation that would serve a normal person, it's just not enough anymore. I don't know.
Well, like I always feel like if you're in Hollywood and you're a big star, to get to that point,
there's that whole blackmail leverage scene too.
Well, I just think that, like, don't get me wrong, there are Hollywood stars that just get there through pure talent. Like, but to get to that point and stay there, surely you've got to make some deals with it, or not even deals with the devil, but like compromise your values at some point.
The way they're making it sound, it's like all of these people have compromised their values at one point.
And so it just, because, yeah, it's just a weird, like, I don't even like thinking about it because it's so scat and gross.
On the other side, my Instagram algorithm is pancakes this week. So
you are a pancakes man.
Just to like,
yeah,
just to bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, bring it down a little bit.
But it's gone from, I sent the missus a couple because, a bit on that health kick at the moment.
On that health kick? You literally said you only have a choc top as fucking when you played for the Storm 10 years ago.
But I spent my missus, now I was sending them
10-year health
these
kick.
pancakes, and now first it was like these cracker pancakes, then it's 3-ingredient pancakes. Yesterday was a 2-ingredient pancake, like banana and eggs. I'm like, that's a fucking crepe. But it's like, just crazy.
It's a gateway pancake. It's a gateway.
That's how you start back.
Yeah.
Just a pancake's healthy.
It's just one healthy pancake. Before you know it, you fucking got 10 stack of golden syrup mixed with choc chip cookies.
Now, have you started the save things with the misso yet?
Nah, I told her about it and we said, we should do that, and then we just never did.
We got a Sydney food to-dos, and just before the health kick, week prior, I've been... There's a heap of dessert places on there, so I've been running mad. There's a few mad ones in the city.
See, my missus never asked me to take her anywhere. She'll just randomly send me like Instagrams of nice places. And so that's an interesting thing about women. I don't know about all women, but like the women I'm not speaking for every woman, the women I've had experience with, they have real trouble just directly asking for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll kind of just throw it out there like as a question instead of just going, I would like to do X. They'll go,
Great example. My girlfriend has like created a note with like a wish list type situation of things she would like and just shared it with me.
Yeah. You know what I'm
As
saying?
if you're fucking Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Mate, you know
Send
what's
her back
funny?
naughty or nice list.
You know what's funny? I got the same list sent to me of dream house.
There you go.
With the qualifier of, look, I understand, I don't want it right now.
But this is where I'd like to be heading.
Or like in a dream, like if everything goes really well for us in 5-6 years, not exactly, I'm not talking about a big house. I'm talking about the stuff in the house. So like, hopefully we'll get a new fridge one day. It's like a full-on list. So, it's just so different how men deal with things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you want something as a bloke, you just go in and go, hey, can we do this, please? Whereas women are much more, I mean, it's why they're much better at handling like group situations, women are, because they're much better understanding like the pushes and pulls of reading the room, social cues, all that kind of stuff.
I still like, and on that communication with you and your missus, I still like the just sending you the subtle memes.
Oh yeah, what did I get this morning? Actually, let's check up with the missus that I got recently.
What do you call it? Passive aggressive memes.
Passive aggressive memes. That's unreal.
It's the best. This is what I got from the missus today. So, yeah. So this is what I got. So it's Where's the camera there?
Yeah.
So it's a woman crying, walking, like basically having an anxiety attack. And the caption is, on my way to make my family breakfast after doom scrolling all night because it was the only alone time I had all week. And I'd be like... So that was this morning. We've got some other ones actually, which is great.
I love it.
Yeah, look, there's plenty. It's pretty much each morning. But yeah, so that's great stuff.
I tell you what I got actually during this. My phone just kept buzzing, and I haven't even opened the messages yet, but I've got 7 messages. Someone messenger. Hey, where's my key card for her apartment? Do you have my key card? Then like 10 minutes later, do you have my key card? Then message me on Messenger. You have my key card? And then the last message, okay, found it.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right. What's on your algorithm at the moment?
I tell you, Future, because I was watching all these funny Future videos.
As in the musician?
Yeah. When it started, you know the video where he's like sensational. And I watched that.
No, I don't.
Do we sound like that?
You don't? Sensational. I just laughed at it so much. I went on a Future deep dive the other night. So now it's just all Future.
Okay, so you're Future.
I didn't even like Future.
I don't really like it. I mean, as in like
I like his voice.
That's why it's yeah.
I don't like his music that much.
Nah, neither.
I've just never been. I don't know. It's like an American thing, maybe. I just never really got into it. I like the beats that he's on, but he hasn't really ever appealed to me.
He's an auto-tuner, heavy auto-tuner.
Heavy auto-tuner. Like, he's definitely talented for sure. Good at picking beats and that. But yeah. Alrighty. Time for... Don't forget, you can become a Finlander by going to finland.com.au. Fin, P-H-I-N, land.com.au. There are heaps of prize giveaways. As you guys recently, the last one was going to a corporate box at a game, which is outstanding stuff. And also, do not forget to watch all games on KO. Also got some big UFC fights coming up this weekend. We've got an Aussie fight this weekend, actually. You know what? I'll get his name up. He looks like an accountant, but bro, he can fucking bang. He can bang. Let's get it up right now. Got to get behind our boy. It's a title fight too. It's a title fight. Oh, where the hell?
I low-key think he might get it done out of nowhere.
Fuck, we've got some good fighters. Australia.
UFC, there's so much shit going on in the UFC that, like, it's hard to find what's happening this weekend. You know what I mean?
It's insane what they've done. It's just non-stop.
Is it a actual UFC event or is it a fight night?
No, it's a UFC event.
Okay.
But, like, I'm scrolling right now and
Something like Steve Ekron or something? Seen him do that interview with the chick that interviews everyone. They like funny one.
They need or whatever. Yeah.
Is it Steve Urkeg?
Yeah, that's it.
Versus Alexandra Pantoja.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Pantoja versus Steve Urkeg.
Okay, yeah, that's
it. Now, he absolutely can win this fight because Pantoja, or however you say it, he's lost 5 fights. And even the fight, I think, to win the belt, it was like...
Controversial.
Obviously he's got technique, but it was mainly grit that got him that. He got hit quite a lot. It was just his fitness that got that. Whereas Steve is he's quite technical. And also deceptively strong. Also, Aldo's fighting as well. So
let's go.
That's UFC 301. You can get that on KO, guys, exclusively on KO in Australia. You don't need to be a KO member already as well. And so make sure. Anthony Smith also fighting.
Is Pereira fighting on that in the end? Nah.
Michael Pereira.
No,
Alex Pereira.
He was pushing for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they ended up putting him in there, which sucks. Mate, he is a fucking beast, Alex
John
Pereira.
Jones, I've seen him do a little post. He's, okay, who should I fight next? Aspinall or Pereira?
Bro, didn't John Jones just get done for something fully rank again?
No, he's not.
I'll check.
He's back training. I didn't see that.
Something to do with cops?
Surely not.
I think he did, bro. I think he did.
I'd love to see Pereira versus Jones, but it wouldn't be good for Pereira.
Yeah, there was a controversy.
Really?
I'm trying to find what it is.
Come on, man.
Just Dana White breaks silence one day ago. I'm just trying to get the article up. He recently found himself in trouble again when a UFC drug testing agent filed a police report accusing him of threatening to kill her.
Oh yeah, but that was kind of washed over. Like he released footage and don't know. He claims it's all bullshit, and he shows her walking out to the car, but she's claiming that he was aggressive and.
So she's basically saying he was abusive and
she's come. It's a house test, and then apparently she's claiming he blew up, and then he's saying, well, that's not true.
Well,
look at this.
I tell you what, kind of hard to.
Yeah.
It's hard to presumption of innocence, bloke. I'll just put it that way. I'm a big presumption of innocence guy, but when it's your fucking 10th,
yeah, he's got a bit of form.
When you're a bit of a psychopath, it's tough to stomach. Anyway, let's get into some tips, shall we?
Yes.
Let's go.
Manly versus obviously brought to you by Sportsbet. Give us a follow on feed, and don't forget Monday 6 p.m. Bloke jerseys are dropping, but give us a follow on feed. Manly versus the Raiders. Manly $1.21. Raiders $4.45. I know they don't have their halves, but that's a little juicy to me, just a little.
It's definitely juicy, but not juicy enough.
I'm going Manly as well.
Manly.
Broncos versus Roosters. Roosters are $2.96. That is juicy.
That is
$2.96.
$2.96.
Holy shit.
That is extremely juicy. Now, Tupou and Hargreaves are out, but I still think that team is stacked.
Who replaces Tupou anyway?
Yeah, let's be real.
I think Broncos will win, but I think it should be like $1.80 to $2.
I agree. I think that's almost even $1.80 to $1.90.
Yeah.
Almost. I think that these two teams, especially after last week from the Roosters, these two teams on paper are pretty bang on with each other.
I think we have to take the Bronx.
Bronx
I'll take the Bronx for sure.
Bulldogs, Tigers.
Dogs.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dogs.
I'm going Tigers for the upset.
Nice.
Paying $3.13 as well. $3.13 is juicy against
That
the
is
Doggies.
juicy. 3.13's nice.
Titans, Storm.
Storm by a lot. Monsters 200th.
Storm by a lot. When you say a lot, what do you mean a lot? 13 plus?
Yeah.
20 plus?
Oh, I'm not going to disrespect the Titans like that.
Okay.
They've been. Storm by a lot was probably a bit brash, but I'll say Storm anywhere from 14 to 20.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be happy to put a 20. I think they're going to turn it on and just blow a game away here.
They have been building.
Yeah,
a bit. They haven't actually been as even though they're going so well, they actually haven't played anywhere near as well as they can play.
Like even against South, there was a period there where South was scoring some tries and they won by 30. So
the last week we were saying they were on last week. That was giving us a taste.
With Titans though, they have had a tendency over the last month just to make games hard for teams, and so you just wonder do they find a way just to make it hard for the Storm? I don't know. Cowboys versus Dolphins. I'm going the Cowboys. Dolphins paying at $3.09 though.
Gee, I'm not confident on Cowboys
I'm not
at all.
on the Cowboys.
No.
Yeah, I'll tip them, but
next is Knights Warriors. I reckon the Warriors. I'm close to saying that this is a season-defining game for the Warriors. I'm very, very close because if they lose this, what's that? 4 on the trot, 3 on the trot against
4
very below 8 side.
it'll be 4 if you include the draw.
So draw against Manly, but Manly's going all right. But still draw at home. Then
Dragons.
loss to Dragons, a big loss.
Yeah, Titans.
Titans.
Now this.
And then they beat Knights. So if they lose Dragons, Titans, Knights, premiership contenders don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Now, I know it's early in the season, and look, doesn't mean their season's over, but it could spiral out of control if they don't get the job done here, in my opinion.
I agree, and because of that, I reckon they'll win 13 plus.
I've got them 13 plus as well.
Yeah, well, I was going to back Warriors, but 13 plus. There it is.
Sharkies, Dragons.
Sharkies.
Sharks, but I reckon it'll be closer.
I reckon
than people
Flano's
think.
just got
Yeah.
something got the boys absolutely fucking frothing at the bit.
Oh,
Because to talk the way he talked last week,
so funny.
you'd want the boys not to get pumped. Can you imagine if they get pumped? How do you walk into that press conference? What do you say?
Yeah, so true.
What do you say? You just go, damn.
Shit.
Got us.
It's the Sharks are on top of the table. I know they haven't played top 4 times. I get all that, but they're on top of the table. I'm going Sharkies here. I'm going Sharkies. That is us done and dusted. Make sure to give Sandor a follow, give Matty a follow, all that great stuff. If you're in the area, get down to Air Locker.
Air Locker Training, baby. Rouse Hill, best in the West, or your local Air Locker Training. Get in, try it out, altitude, experience it.
Also known as Grouse Hill.
Grouse Hill, yes.
That's what the locals call it. Apparently, anyway. Monday, 6 p.m, Bloke jerseys dropping. Do not miss it. Biggest drop of the year. I'll go fuck myself. Thank you.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.